Good morning. It's KCHW 102.7. We are finally getting back on the air. It has been a long hiatus, but thank you for being here this morning. Me and my beautiful sister Val, live from Deer Park, Washington. Good morning, Val.
Good morning.
Woo!
Did you like that enthusiasm?
I did. A whole bunch. All right. Oh, having a rough start this morning. Sorry, we're late. You know, when you take an entire month off, you find out some of the buttons don't work like they used to. All right. I'd like to blame it on someone else, but unfortunately, I can't. We can blame it on...
If you would, you could. I mean, if you could, you would.
Yeah. All right, Brandon had a meeting with Ted this morning. He said he'd show up for the first half, but typically he's not here. So, we still love Brendan Hansen, though. Weather-wise today, Val, you are expecting a high of 79 degrees. Mostly sunny to get started. Then a few afternoon clouds. Winds just to 10 miles per hour. For your Tuesday night, 50 degrees, mainly clear skies. 76 on Wednesday, mostly sunny. 78 on Thursday, mostly sunny. Friday, looking at partly cloudy skies. A little bit warmer, though. 81 and 52 for the high and low. No real rain to speak of in the forecast. Saturday, 84 and sunny. Sunday, 87 and mostly sunny skies. So the weekend definitely looking warm. Val, we haven't talked in a couple weeks since I left Washington. How has the weather been over the past couple weeks?
You know, it has continued to trend warmer than normal. We have gotten a few pretty good downpours, at least here at our house, which has kind of helped. But yeah, it's a little scary. I've never seen weather like this in May. So,
are you saying scary in the fact that it could be, even though we had all that snow, that it could be making for a really rough fire season? Is that what you're thinking?
That's what I'm afraid of, yeah. Because, I mean, we don't normally have this nice of weather in June.
This is true.
Yes. I mean, I feel like this is more like when we were kids, that type of weather, though. I can remember the year that Mount St. Helens blew, which was, the first part of May. We already had the pool open because Sonny and I were sitting beside the pool when things started to get, looking weird outside. So, yeah, I feel like this is more weather from when we were younger as far as summer temps. But, yeah, we just need some rain interspersed here and there, and then I would be completely happy.
At least keep things a little safer, a little too early to be getting that hot. Let's see, it's probably, since we're running a little late here, it's probably a shot in the dark, but we'll throw out breakfast and lunch for the kids. Looking for a muffin variety this morning, cereal, fresh fruit juice, and your choice of milk. And then for lunchtime today, looking for the Ribicue. Oh, I love Ribicues.
Oh.
Baked beans, romaine salad, fresh veggies, fresh fruit, sunflower seeds, and your choice of milk. That's what the kids are getting for breakfast and lunch.
Sunflower seeds?
Sunflower
That's interesting.
seeds. Yeah.
That's interesting.
All right. I pulled up a couple horoscopes this morning.
Uh-oh. Are they horoscopes or horrible scopes?
Horrible scopes. So, Val, you are an Aries, correct?
I am an Aries.
All right. So for your horoscope today, it says the crystal ball, which I sometimes use for divining fortunes for those like yourself, Val, is smashed beyond repair. I can see bits of your future, and they look bloody.
That's because you threw the dang crystal ball at me.
It just could be a coincidence, right? All right. I can't tell whether it's your blood though or someone else's, so that's not much help, is it?
No, it's not. It's not.
Right. Actually, though, Val, it might not be bloody at all, but maybe a red sock. I'm not sure. Get back to me tomorrow, would you?
Just throw out things and hopefully one of them will come true.
All right. Fun is a word that will score just a few points for you in Scrabble today, Val. But when was life all about Scrabble?
Well, not since I was much younger.
All right. There are lots of ideas screaming to be let out of Val's head. Let them out freely, Val, and they'll scream in other people's heads too.
Oh, that's the best thing you've said so far.
Thank you. All right, then you're really not going to like this one. The accuracy of any prognostication is likely to be determined by how unlucky you generally you are. And a friend of yours' pet may die today.
Oh.
Isn't that horrible?
Oh, yeah.
I don't make this stuff up, mostly.
Yes, you do.
Maybe I do. Huh. All right. Mine was a little worse. 10-1 may seem like fair odds, but then how likely are you able, Scott, to be successfully breeding pandas with llamas? Which, if you do breed a panda with a llama like I'm trying to do, you end up with an animal called a Panama.
A Panama?
Yes. Rumor has it in my crystal ball, Paris Hilton will pop around today. Chat, maybe eat a biscuit. Could be in spirit or in person. Incidentally, a small chihuahua is going to wheedle itself into my garden and poop all over my favorite plants. This is a horrible horoscope for me, too.
Well, my horoscope said that, an animal of somebody I know will die. So maybe that's a chihuahua.
Ooh. All right. At this point, it is recommended that I set up webcams all over my house so I can publish all incidents to a website and earn billions of dollars.
Oh.
It also says that I can't go wrong today. Everything is set up for brilliance.
Are you sure you have the right horoscope?
I'm not.
Brilliance.
Brilliance. It does say in other countries how I feel about this afternoon could get me arrested and shot. Maybe tomorrow at dawn without a blindfold and with a stinging sensation in my groin.
Stinging sensations are bad enough, but in your groin?
Yeah, it's a horrible horoscope.
Last place you want stinging sensations.
Yeah, definitely.
Quiet! I can't hear myself lie!
Oh, man. All right. Pick another sign, Val. Do you know what sign we're in right now? You're good at that kind of stuff.
We are in the sign of, let's see, we're in Taurus. No, what's after Taurus? We're in Gemini already.
Oh.
So that's you.
That's me. So we just did that one. So after Gemini, it's Cancer, right? I'm just trying to hit another one.
Well, that's Brad's sign.
Oh, let's make this a little extra fun then. Oh, hold on. I'm clicking the wrong buttons. This is nothing new. All right, Brad gets no horoscope today.
Oh, well,
Sorry,
it's better than the horoscopes we got.
That I was reading, exactly.
Sometimes none is better than,
All right. Let's see. I think I'm back to it. Let's try it. Here you go. Free. This is for free too, by the way. Tell Brad. Clowns with pickaxes will haunt Brad's dreams tonight and will affect you, Val, at around mid-morning the following day. The effect of such dreams will cause Brad to A, be tired, B, look startled when people slam the door, or C, be nice to any clowns you meet. Or he meets.
Get on their good side.
That's right. Brad is a beautiful creature. Don't let any other pretty woman tell him otherwise. Brad's worst fears may come to light today when he is shoved into a very small hole filled with sharks, insects, spiders, snakes, and moths. It doesn't sound good at all.
That's some moths. I better make sure that bug zapper's on.
All right. Let's see. Should we pick on Marion? I think we should. All right. Marion, your horoscope today. The last few weeks have seemed like hell. It's because she just moved in with me. It's horrible.
I'm sorry, Marion. I could have warned you, but I didn't want to, kind of burst your bubble.
Yeah. It also says there's a little respite this week as she continues on her steamy voyage down the Styx. This month provides her with the greatest chance of making it. So pray to the planets that they stay in alignment or this horoscope will not be fulfilled, Marion.
I can hear her laughing hysterically in the background.
She is laughing in the background. The manner of an exit you make today may lead others to assume things about you. Oh, wow. Yeah, be careful out there.
Well, there is that country western song that's like hate to see you leave, but love to watch you go.
Yeah. Ooh. All right. I'm just trying to think of who might have the worst horoscope. Let's check Scorpios.
Ooh.
Every reason you have for doing what you did is sound. Be grateful that you have a good network of friends and family. Think of a number. Now times that number by 18. I can confidently predict that your number does not rhyme with golfing umbrella. This is a magic power for me.
Oh, yes.
All right. You claim that no one is able to see the future, and yet I foresee for all Scorpios that you will understand this never to be not untrue in your own destiny. Figure out what that means today, and you're a winner. Also, your ability to speak may be impaired as you attempt to swallow half of a live hedgehog. There you go.
Our mom was a Scorpio.
She was.
And, man, that tail could come over the top and get you faster than you knew what was happening.
Careful, she could be listening from the other side, Val.
She could. She could.
All right, there you go. Horoscopes with Scott. And now, fun with Val. It is favorite insults. I sent you these, Val. Great insults that, well, don't really sound like an insult.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
This is from the internet, of course.
Of course.
All right. It's impressive how you managed to stay so confident, Scott.
Thank you.
I should end all of these with Scott.
Scott.
I hope the rest of your day is as pleasant as you are.
Oh.
That's so if you're being pleasant right now, it's kind of like a little karma on that one, right?
Yeah. I get the slam.
Yeah. You continue to meet expectations. My expectations of you are really low.
Apparently.
I wish I had the confidence to wear that.
You mean my shirt? Or the hair?
Have the day you deserve.
Ooh, I've heard that one before.
Mm-hmm.
That's horrible.
You know what, Scott? Wisdom has been chasing you, but you've always been faster.
That's right. I'm quick.
I envy everyone you've never met.
Ow.
And finally, I will give your suggestion all of the consideration which it deserves.
Sounds like you've been talking to Brad. All right. So, if you haven't headed out the door yet today, looking at 7:53 on your way to work, feel like you don't want to go? Well, how about best and worst excuses for a sick day? All right.
Okay.
All right. My dog had a big scare, and I don't want to leave him.
If you've ever had a dog that's scared of thunder and lightning and stuff, I kind of get
You
that.
might fall into that, huh?
Yeah.
All right. My hamster died. That's always a heartbreaker.
Uh-huh.
My fish is sick.
Oh.
Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah. When your fish gets ick. Which is really a fish disease, is ick. So maybe my fish has ick.
Val has actually used the next one. I've had a hair dye disaster.
Uh-huh.
In fact, is your hair even dyed?
It's not. It's I'm kind of taking after my brother and letting it, the whole gray thing come through.
Oh, thanks a lot. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Val, do you have a few excuses for a sick day to throw out there for people?
Well, there's one that you kind of missed on that, which was I slipped on a coin, which is plausible.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. You know how clumsy your sister is? I could slip on a coin. And I was reading through these before we started this morning, and there was a quarter laying on the floor in my bathroom, and I immediately picked it up.
Just out of fear. That's weird.
Because if I'd, texted you and told you I couldn't make it because I slipped on a coin, you'd be like, yeah, whatever.
That always reminds me of the fish that they used to have in the sidewalk at Spoko. They were steel. And if you hit them in the wintertime, They were
Oh.
they were a little slick, but they were right on the side. But they chiseled them all out.
I always liked the one that said, "I can't come to work today because I have there's something wrong with my eyes. I just can't see myself coming into work today."
Oh. I actually quit a job with that as I called them up. So I'm back from vacation, but I can't see myself coming to work anymore. It works the same way.
It works the same way. I've always wanted to be able to call in rich.
Ooh.
Win the lotto and just say, I'm not coming in today.
Would they believe you that you actually won, though?
Well, no.
I was waiting tables once, and I was like, "Hey, I'm putting in my notice. I got a job at the classic rock station," and nobody believed me.
Whatever, Scott.
Exactly. That's how they treated me. Yeah. Sure you did.
Oh.
So heartbreaking. All right. What else you got for an excuse for work today, Val?
A can of corn landed on my big toe.
Huh.
If you've had anything ever fall on your foot, it's a plausible
It is
excuse as
plausible,
well.
especially if you got a bad foot. All right.
Uh-huh. I was swimming too fast and smacked my head on the pool side.
Val, your pool's plastic, though.
Still hurt.
We missed one that I did yesterday. I accidentally super glued my fingers together and couldn't text or call.
Yeah, that's that is not a very good excuse because could you not still call? Hopefully you didn't like super glue them like that. Then maybe if you did that and like there we go. If you did like that, maybe you couldn't call or text, but
All right.
everything else is a lame excuse.
And if you're not watching online, you can't see Val's various hand gestures.
That's right.
And the last one, Val, the last excuse you have to skip work today.
I woke up with a temporary case of amnesia and couldn't remember how to get to work.
Oh, that's a good one. Yay. All right.
But you seem to remember that you had a job.
It doesn't really work out. Hopefully they won't dig too deep on that one, right?
Right.
All right, let's take a look. Move along this morning. Take a look at some upcoming events. You've got story time at the Tweedle Library today, 11:30 to 5 p.m. Val, you should check it out. Let's see. Tomorrow, adult pickleball going on from 9 to 11:30. That's at 243 Parr Place by the golf course. We also, between 3 and 5, in-person weekly tech help at the Tweedle Library. First Thursday Art Walk. Now, we kicked off the big artwork with the Women of Art in Washington last month, and that continues this month. All the locations around downtown. However, the radio station is not involved in this first Thursday Art Walk coming up on Thursday. All right, and looking into the weekend, I am not seeing much, but I did have some stuff that was directly emailed into the radio station, and this is a good one to get on top of. This came to us from Susan, and she is talking about the Tasty program. The Tasty program is temporary added sustenance to youth, and it's gone on here in Tweedle for summers before. It's a summer food program designed for families with preschool through 12th grade age children in Tweedle Valley, Addy, and Summit Valley that qualify for free or reduced meals at school. Goal to provide nutritious meals during the summer months when schools aren't providing them. Boxes of food for breakfast and lunch are distributed every 2 weeks, 5 times in all over the summer. Starting on June 19th of this year, family must apply to be accepted to the program and agree to pick up food boxes at the designated times and places. Tasty is in its 9th year. In its first year, 25 children from 16 families were served. Last year in 2022, 163 kids from 59 families benefited. Their goal this year is to serve 175 children. They will be available at 6 locations, which include Guess Elementary, the Tweedle Food Bank, Valley Schools, Valley Food Bank, Summit Valley School, and the Addy Food Bank. Program funding comes from grants and an annual fundraiser that's coming up in June, and we'll give you more details as we get closer. That event is going to be at Courtside Brewery, And let's see if I can pick out the date really quick just so you can file it away in your mind. It is the 22nd. It's scheduled for the 22nd, evening of the 22nd at the Quartzsite Brewery will be their fundraiser if you can help out with that. Taste Program is an all-volunteer program coordinated through a 501c3 called Cheweel Faith Resources Group. Taste Program partners with the Cheweel Farmers Market, providing vouchers for families, $5 per kid each pickup, so that the kids can go to the market and access fruits and veggies. How
That's
cool is
pretty
that?
cool. I like that.
Very cool. Food boxes are picked up at the Cheweel Senior Center every other Monday at lunchtime, and additional pickup times take place in the evening to accommodate family work schedules. So there you go. That program getting ready to get all fired up for the 19th. And let's see if they left me. I'm going to have to do some digging on this. I think we'll have Chuck get Susan to come in and talk about this on the radio because I'm sure she can explain it a lot better than I did. Phone number for you, though, is area code 509-640-0176. Once again, 509-640-0176 to take part in the Tasty program.
Oh, and I just had a Chuck commented it online, and he said he had another that they'll be doing a children's book poetry slam karaoke at the station this week for first Thursday.
Oh, look at you go,
Yeah.
Chuck. Excellent.
Yeah, he said it's sure to be delightfully weird. I like it.
Huh. Can you read that one again?
Delightfully weird.
Delightfully weird. All right. So let's see. Storm off the coast of Charleston, South Carolina, battered yet another Carnival cruise ship. These poor cruise ships. We've had them tip over. We've had them back up with sewage. We've had people get stranded on them and not able to leave because of COVID-19. Now passengers aboard the Carnival Sunshine describe shattered glass, water pouring into their rooms and the hallways, and the ship pitching about back and forth. With
Yikes.
a huge lack of communication, they say, from the cruise staff. Some passengers and crew members needed minor assistance from medical staff. Carnival Sunshine was headed back from the Bahamas to South Carolina. Did arrive in Charleston behind schedule. Do they not know? I mean, the National Hurricane Center warned on Friday that there was going to be pressure off of Florida and the Carolinas, and this could be a problem, but they just kept going.
Wow. I mean, yeah, that's not somebody made a poor decision.
There's some videos online if you wanna get scared for the passengers. But I'm to the point over the past few years, I've always wanted to take a cruise, but I don't think you could get me to set foot on one. There's been so many calamities. It seems like a bad place to get trapped.
You know, and you would think that they'd kind of be cutting the price of their rooms way down to get people to be back on the ships. But yeah, it is. I mean, just think of all the things that have gone through cruise ships like you were talking about. But I mean, wasn't there a listeria outbreak on one? And I mean, you're in such close quarters that it's bizarre. And then we had friends that just got back from a cruise, and they were saying, you know, at the buffets and everywhere, they have hand sanitizers before you go into the restaurant for the buffet. And she said, you cannot believe how many people were just like, I'm not doing that, would not march on past. And it's like, this is so bizarre.
Maybe you get a giant case of dysentery.
May you have the day that you deserve.
Ooh, we'll get into that in just a minute for somebody. All right, I caught this yesterday, and I think it's an important one to roll out. This happened to a Chase Bank customer. Whole new scam. It's a stark reminder, of how easy it is to get scammed. These coming through a text message claiming to be a Chase Bank representative. The lady clicked on the link, and then she got a phone call. And what the person was doing, I mean, it's hard to make sense of this unless you can actually see it going down, written down in front of you. But basically, what they were doing is they were able to get partial access to her account, but they needed her, the safety PIN number they always send you. We're going to send you a PIN number within, 5 minutes, and we want you to type it in, and then you can access your website. So they were sending her text messages asking her what the PIN number was. to repeat it back. Or the lady was calling her on the phone saying, all right, I texted you a PIN number. What's that PIN number? She would give it to them. They would immediately withdraw money out of her bank because they had the safety PIN.
Oh, geez.
So there's even clever ways to get around, that new safety. So they add a physical person, first approaching you via text saying they were the Chase Bank, then calling you on your home phone. So they had obviously a little bit of information about this lady. By the time she had figured out what had happened over like a week's worth of time, they kept calling back and saying, there's a problem with the delivery of your card. What's your address again? Oh, we're sending you another PIN number. Tell me what that PIN number is. And the lady would repeat it to them, and then they'd go into her account and they transfer more money. By the time they were done, $160,000, her entire life savings.
Oh,
and
I really hope they get the day that they deserve.
Yes. And what did Chase Bank have to say? This.
Let them eat static.
Doing nothing.
Yikes.
Doing
Yikes.
nothing about it.
I believe that.
And totally blaming it on her.
Wow.
So, if you get anything from your bank on your phone, just ignore it, flip your credit card over, and call the number. Or look up your bank online and call them directly. Rarely does a bank call you at home in the first place. I mean, how often do you get a phone call from your bank?
Unless you have stuff specifically set up, because I've got it set up to get a text message if there's some suspicious activity or anything like that. So if you're getting, but again, don't click on the link. Right, and don't click on the link within the text message. That's when you call in, or especially at least if you click on that link, make sure they're not asking for personal information. It might say, did you approve this purchase? And you can click yes. But if it starts asking you for any personal information, the bank wouldn't have texted you and then asked you for personal information. They have your personal information.
And they're not going to send you a PIN number and then call you up on the phone and go, what's that PIN number we sent you?
Right.
So,
I listed a bunch of stuff on Marketplace this weekend, and within an hour, I got 6 different messages through Marketplace saying that I'm really, really interested. Can you give me your phone number so I can call you? Do not do that.
No.
Because and I started looking into it. I mean, I knew there was a problem, especially since I got 6 of them within a few minutes. But that's why they tell you to keep all communication within the Facebook Marketplace. But what they do is they use your phone number then and set up Google Voice accounts and use those to do spam calls. And so, when you see that spam call that looks like it's from a Spokane number, that's what they've done is they've set up a voice,
they've
a
spoofed
Google
your
Voice
number.
Exactly.
Because you gave it to them. No.
Yeah. So any time like that. And finally, I just got nasty. It was like, this is the 4th time. You know what you can do to yourself.
There you go. Be careful of that. And I did it one time and you can usually tell when they're spoofed because they're going to be real short. They might repeat a line that you actually used in your ad. And something similar to that. And it's easy to get tripped up if you're in a hurry and not paying attention. I had it happen, I think I've talked about on the radio before, from Craigslist, where I responded to a text out of Craigslist, and I didn't realize it was exactly what they had sent me was the title. I think it was for a car I was selling. And I hit yes and sent it back. Well, once I sent it back, now they had my phone number. And because I had gotten it through, it was allowing text on Craigslist, which I advise everyone to never do that. And all they didn't try to scam me or spoof my number or anything. All they did is harass me with, I think it was about, on an average day, maybe 125 gibberish texts a day. No text to click on links or to get my bank information, just gibberish. It'd be like 3 different words like those, deet, directions, and it never made any sense. And I would get, imagine getting 100 to 150 texts a day of nothing.
Wow.
I downloaded at least 20 different texting apps till I found one that could block it. It was a nightmare, and it went on for over a year.
Wow.
So
Wow. And so, I mean, do you think this was some random person
just
or
wanting to
somebody?
harass people. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he had a program. Every time I'd go in and clean up my phone, I'd make a wish while I was deleting them that his computer would catch fire.
May you get the days you deserve.
Exactly. Hope no one says that to me. All right. So they're screaming about tick problems across the U.S. Is this something that you've seen hit Washington or where you are in Deer Park or anything?
You know what? I feel like I need to knock on wood, I guess, at this point. But we have very few ticks on our farm. Not saying that the dogs haven't gotten them occasionally, but I think the worst summer we ever had, Haley got 3.
Okay.
And so, yeah, we're just really lucky because I know around us that people have more of a tick problem, but here on the farm, we seem to be really lucky. So, knock on something like this.
It's supposed to be across the country. I read on a list, and Washington was on it too to have a bad tick year. Now, last year, Mooch is always laying in the grass sleeping. Never had a tick. This year, I think we got one offer yesterday, but I've actually found 2 ticks in the house. And here in Maine, they not only have Lyme disease, there's a whole other disease that can come along with them now too. That's just as bad as Lyme disease, but it's supposed to be a bad tick year. And I was reading through things that you can do to repel ticks, and obviously tick repellent. They have that. Consider a pesticide to control those problems, they say. Let's see. Create a hostile barrier, and that's where instead of having brush around or bushes around your yard, you use rock or bark or something that can get hot in the sun. It'll keep the ticks away. Let's see, mowing frequently. And then the other one that really surprised me, I didn't even know what they were, nematodes.
Okay.
You know what a
some
nematode
sort
is?
of is it some kind of crawling bug or something?
It is. It's like a
flying
slug.
bug?
A slug.
Okay.
All right. They're microscopic worms. They will feast on tick larvae. And they say get a bunch of nematodes and put them in your yard and your garden. And it says you can even get beneficial nematodes at Walmart.
Oh. Can you tell me where your nematodes are?
I dare you.
So have you ever, I mean, other than this time, I mean, have you ever had Mooch get many ticks?
No. But we had one on the wall. I had one on a coffee cup. So we just walk around the house being itchy all the time. It's like, oh, what was that? What was that?
I guess I talked about that with somebody recently about, any bugs that really, really creeped you out. And I didn't think of ticks, but they creep me out. I think it was growing up in North Dakota, you got them all the time. And it was, oh, yeah. They're just gross.
I won't show it on the video feed, but it might be kind of fun if I did. They have black flies here in Maine, which make it sound like a house fly, but they're maybe a third the size of a house fly, and they bite like a wasp.
Yeah,
So-
and we looked them up, and at least here they're actually called a buffalo gnat. They're not actually a fly. It's a buffalo gnat, and they are nasty.
I got bit on the bottom side of my upper arm, and literally half the size of a baseball. The welt. I mean,
Well, that's why my face melted that time. It was one of those black fly gnat things. So, yeah, they are nasty.
they are. All right, enough about bugs. Hope we made you itchy.
I'm itchy too already. Yeah.
All right. This one might sound good at the first, but it's really not. Let's see. Russia's Interior Minister on Monday issued an arrest warrant for U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham. Could we send him to Russia?
Yeah.
I don't like that guy. All right.
Wasn't he in Ukraine? Didn't he visit Ukraine recently?
Yes, and that's why
Yeah.
because in an edited video of his meeting on Friday with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky that was released by Zelensky's office, Graham, a Republican from South Carolina, noted that Russians are dying. This is his quote from him saying, "The Russians are dying," and described the U.S. military assistance to the country as the best money we've ever spent. Apparently, the Russians took offense to that.
Yes.
Way to throw us, we're already in the thick of it, but way to really shine a light on it there, Lindsay.
I'm sure your mama needs help. Maybe you should go back home.
Yeah. All right. Another one that was kind of fun today. I won't really talk about it, but it's Trump's lawyers are wondering which one of them is the snitch.
Too bad it's not which one isn't.
I think they probably all qualify, but yeah, apparently there's in his inner circle of lawyers, there's one of them that just keeps leaking stuff to the press. That's kind of fun. They could all take lie detector tests, but none of them would pass.
Well, you kind of have to sell your soul to take that job, I would think. Mm-hmm. Unless
Definitely.
you did it purposely to be the snitch.
Ooh, that's kind of sneaky, and it very well could have happened. That's just my opinion. It could be going on right now. In fact,
I wonder though if you're breaking that law, it's confident, a client attorney privilege type of thing.
Sure.
I mean, yeah. So is it like a HIPAA law where you could actually go to jail for breaking that confidence
or lose
something?
your
license.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean,
All right.
continue doing what you're doing, but
We hope you will. All right. And for all those people that just hate change, they come out and they're against, let's say, electric cars. Or
Right.
they're against wind turbines. They kill birds and all that kind of stuff. I've been up close. I've got a video posted on my Facebook page of a wind turbine running. I've been up close and personal with a wind turbine. And if you're a bird and you hit that thing, you're a really stupid bird. Because, the things are really going, woof, 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 woof. They're going to hear it.
Yeah.
And you can see the blades. Birds have good eyes. You can see there's something spinning in front of you. Right? And then the other thing was, they can't recycle them, and that has been debunked. A Danish wind turbine giant just discovered how to recycle all blades. In fact, they've hooked up with an epoxy company called Olin, and they can basically deconstruct any windmill blade back into its natural raw materials that it was in its first state when it was used and recycle it.
and yeah, I'd heard that recently too, that they do have a way now to recycle them, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. So don't believe everything you read, and don't believe everything Scott tells you either, because you never know.
Brad said something the other day, and I'm like, "You heard that on the internet, didn't you?"
I can tell that's an internet story.
No, he's really good about fact checking, but it was something I'm like, "Oh, for the love of Pete."
All righty. Hey, since we started late, it's already time for break. We got to thank those sponsors. We'll bring you some news, and then we'll come back with some more stories of our own. If you stay right here on Northern Lights Public Radio, we are KCHW 102.7 and back in a flash.
You're listening to 102.7 KCHW, Chewila.
It's 8:18.
Your KCHW morning show is made possible by donations from Chewila Flooring.
Chewila Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products, including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chewila Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Del Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at chewilaflooring.com, call 509-935-8021, or via email at chewilaflooring@gmail.com.
Your KCHW morning show made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW-FM thanks God-Fearing Brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
This is KCHW, Chewelah, 102.7 FM.
For Feature Story News in Singapore, I'm Patrick Fogg. Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has won another 5 years in office. He won just over 52% of the vote in a presidential election runoff the opposition slammed as deeply unfair. Trent Murray is in Istanbul and has the latest.
In the end, President Erdogan was able to scrape another victory. After 20 years leading Turkey, he has secured another term. He will take it to 25 years in the top job. He was jubilant addressing supporters here in Istanbul before travelling to Ankara to speak to them there as well, telling them that this was a victory for them, thanking his supporters for sticking with him and giving him another term. This was very much a vote for continuity, if you will. On the other hand, of course, there was an option for change. That was presented by Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu. It was not a good night for him and the opposition. He acknowledged it had been a difficult election when he spoke to his supporters. He also said that it had not been a fair fight.
US President Joe Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy have agreed in principle to a debt deal that would help the country avoid a default on June 5th. Now they have to convince both Republican and Democrat lawmakers to vote the legislation through in the House and Senate before they run out of time. Caroline Malone reports.
The leaders of both main political parties in the United States are spinning a tentative debt deal in their favor to try and convince their colleagues to vote for it. President Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy spent weeks negotiating to ultimately agree that they would suspend the debt limit until January 2025. The deal caps non-defense spending so it remains flat through 2024, affecting funds for education, scientific research and border security, but it protects spending on social security, federal healthcare and the military. The legislation now has to be presented to the House of Representatives for 72 hours of review, after which they need a simple majority to pass it on to the Senate. But the House Freedom Caucus, made up of more conservative members of the Republican Party and liberal Democrats, may yet vote against it.
Saudi Arabia is in talks with the Shanghai-based New Development Bank, better known as the BRICS Bank, about becoming its latest member. The move could allow the bank to shore up funding while Russia struggles under the strain of sanctions. Mark Ruffton has more.
If the New Development Bank, which is based in Shanghai, accepts Saudi Arabia as its ninth member, it would be a massive boost to its funds and would help the so-called BRICS Bank deepen its ties with the Middle East. The talks with Saudi Arabia are going ahead as the bank tries to shore up its funding, with Russia, its founding member, struggling under the impact of sanctions. The bank holds its annual meeting this week. The talks also come as Saudi Arabia, the world's largest crude oil exporter, pursues closer relations with China.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks, looking today at Monday's swearing in of Bola Tinubu as the new president of Nigeria. After a very close election, he secured office with just 37% of the vote. It's the first time any Nigerian leader has come to power with the backing of less than half the electorate. He takes over from President Muhammad Buhari, who leaves inflation and deep economic uncertainty in his wake. Bob McMahon is with America's Council on Foreign Relations.
Buhari squandered ample political capital that he came to office with as someone who was really seen as being able to clear through some of Nigeria's messy politics and cronyism, and didn't. The largest economy in Africa, a population that could be the world's third largest by 2050, according to some projections. And even with its problems, it's also, there's a great deal of dynamism around Nigeria. It's just, it's governance. And we have someone who campaigned under the theme of "it's my turn," which doesn't necessarily rouse you to feel like he's going to change things. But Tinubu, who's the former governor of Lagos State, is someone who is extremely well connected. He's, by some accounts, also considered to be a very strong judge of sort of talent, and might be capable of putting together a strong, cabinet that could help power the country through some of its problems.
The election will be remembered for the powerful performance of third-party candidate Peter Obi, who will remain in the wings, hoping for another opportunity to take power. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
Here are the headlines again. Turkey's Recep Tayyip Erdogan has won another 5 years in office following a runoff vote slammed as deeply unfair by the country's opposition. US President Joe Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy have agreed in principle to a debt deal that would help the country avoid a default on June 5th. And Saudi Arabia is in talks with the Shanghai-based New Development Bank about becoming its 9th member in a move that would strengthen its funding options. From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
KCHW is online at kchw.org. Listen to the live stream, find out about station events, memberships, local weather, and volunteering. You're listening to KCHW 102.7.
The Public News Service Daily Newscast for Memorial Day, May the 29th, 2023. I'm Mike Clifford.
And we're back. It's KCHW 102.7. You got Scott and Val on Tuesday. I'm missing our buddy Brandon Hanson, but he'll be back with us along next week. He had some important TED duties to do today, or at least important duties to do today.
Duty?
All right, moving along this morning, let's go ahead and check out celebrity birthdays. Val, can you help us out with that?
I could if you give me 1 second to get on board.
All right, all right.
Give me a second to catch up. All right, it didn't take me long. I'm ready.
All right, good job.
All right, Stephen Tobolowsky.
Okay.
From Silicon Valley, and insurance agent Ned Ryerson in Groundhog's Day.
Okay.
And he's 72 today. Cole Meany from Star Trek The Next Generation is 70.
Do you know which one he was?
No.
He was the meanie. No, that was the guy that was always in the transporter room. Usually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That minor role.
Yes.
All right. Ted McGliney from Shrinking and Married with Children is 65. Idina Menzel is 52.
I always get her confused with, what is it? Idris Elba. Yeah.
Yeah.
But one's a guy and one's a girl.
That's right.
All right.
Some of these names today.
That's why I gave it to you.
Davicia Leslie was in Batwoman and God Friended Me, and she is 36.
Okay.
Finally, Sean Jim.
And you're not even going to try the last one, are you?
Sean Giambrone?
Huh?
Giambrone?
Uh-oh.
Anyway.
We lost you. All right. Technical difficulties. Hold on.
Am I back?
No, I don't know. My computer just switched you to the external speaker. So I think I'm the only one on the radio. Maybe not.
All right. I'll just keep playing.
All right.
Looking
for local birthdays today. We got Mike Dunaway, Jim and Joan Cisco having an anniversary, and Dave and Lisa Jensen also having an anniversary today. There you go for our local birthdays. Moving along, it happened today. We like to call it history. Getting fired up with 1868 and Decoration Day, the predecessor of the modern Memorial Day, was observed in the United States for the first time. 1883, New York City, a rumor that the Brooklyn Bridge was going to collapse caused a stampede which crushed 12 people. That's horrible.
Wow.
1911, I usually skip those. Sorry. Let's see, 1911 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the first Indianapolis 500 ended with Ray Harron becoming the first winner of the 500-mile auto race. On to 1922 in Washington, D.C., the Lincoln Memorial was dedicated. 1981, compact disc first introduced. 1996, Britain's Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson were granted an uncontested divorce, ending their 10-year marriage. Let's see. 2006, FBI said it had found no trace of missing labor leader Jimmy Hoffa after digging up a suburban Detroit horse farm.
Where is Jimmy Hoffa?
Where else, and where else would you put him? Yeah, It's a great idea. Huh. Problem could be still there. 2011, let's see. After executing its final mission, Space Shuttle Endeavour successfully undocked from the International Space Station to return to Earth. 2020, SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket launch carrying the Dragon capsule from Cape Canaveral to the International Space Station. It was the first private company to launch astronauts into space. And 2021, at the Indianapolis 500, Brazilian Helio Castroneves won his 4th title. That was a record. Oh. All right, let's move on to special events for today. And Val, can you give us a help out with that?
I can. It's National Creativity Day. I think I will go downstairs and paint in my studio.
You've been painting a lot.
I have. Or I could just stay upstairs and have a mint julep because it's Mint Julep Day.
All right.
It is Water a Flower Day. It's a good time of year to be doing that. And finally, it is World MS Day today.
All right. Still having a few technical difficulties. If you are listening with us on Facebook and YouTube this morning, you might want to switch to the radio. We are having some difficulties bringing Val through for the web broadcast, so we might have to fire that down in a second anyways, since we can't seem to catch her.
I'm seeing on Facebook, though, it's automatically generating text for me when I talk, so... So on Facebook, it seems to be working.
Okay. Well, we'll just keep with it because I can kind of hear you through the external speaker, and I can see you on the radio. So we'll keep running with that. Moving on, number of the day, 66.5%. And this is really, really astounding and a sign of how bad we need free health care. 66
Okay,
and a
one
half.
second. I'm going to interrupt you a second. Chuck says that he can hear everybody just fine.
All right. We're going to stick with that then. At least we're on the radio. Number for the day is...
Facebook and radio, he says. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm reading his updates. Thanks, Chuck, for letting us know how things are going. So
like usual, it's just me with the problem.
Well, yes. All right. Now quit interrupting you.
Okay, thank you. 66.5% is the percentage of all personal bankruptcies in America which are due to, any guesses, Val?
Oh, I can read it right now, which is horrible.
Medical bills. Isn't that horrible?
That is horrible.
Wow.
You know, you look at other countries that provide health care for their citizens, and that's terrible that people have to go bankrupt just to get medical care.
That is.
I'm appalled.
All right. So moving along this morning, the news and nuggets. A few stories there. China has set a 2030 deadline to send astronauts to the moon. I hope they don't find out that Japan's doing it next year. Chinese Space Agency announced on Monday its plan to send the country's first manned mission to the moon by 2030. First humans to set on the moon were Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, if you believe it. A lot of people don't. That's kind of sad. Happened on July 20th of 1969 during NASA's Apollo 11 mission. Total of 6 manned Apollo missions landed astronauts on the moon between 1969 and 1972. In total, 12 astronauts walked on the moon during the Apollo missions, leaving footprints and collecting rock samples for scientific analysis. All right.
It's my question is, why haven't we been back since 1972? If we want to talk about conspiracies, I think the aliens told us to mind our own business.
Yeah, and I've never understood that either. One problem I had is like, okay, we can't get back to the moon like the Chinese are saying from 2030. Why don't you just pull out your old blueprints and build an old spaceship?
Especially since the computer system to calculate that was the size of an entire room.
Yeah. So
we've got 1,000 times more computing power in our phones.
But get the old manual spacecraft if you have to. It doesn't make sense.
Mm-mm.
All right. I like the next two stories. Senior pranks. Let's find out how much trouble you can get in with a senior prank.
And especially this time of year when all the seniors have that kind of attitude of, what can they do?
Yes,
Take me out.
exactly.
Yeah. Students at a North Carolina high school poured cement into the school's toilets. The students entered Williams High School in Burlington, North Carolina overnight and poured cement into toilets and urinals, leading to more than $4,000 in damages. The district said the people responsible could be charged or suspended. If the students are seniors, they would not be allowed to participate in the school's graduation.
That is a horrible prank.
Yes. You know, you're supposed to do something that's kind of funny, not malicious.
Well, let's check out the next one then.
Oh.
2 Texas teens facing third-degree felony charges after their senior prank caused multiple students to get hospitalized. Diego Flores and David Navarrete Arce brought his cans labeled fart spray to the high school. Yes, it was outside of Houston and caused a strong odor. Stench was so bad, school was evacuated twice in an attempt to find the source. 7 students taken to the hospital for further care after a complication of headaches and nausea. The spray, which is reportedly available for purchase online, Amazon in fact, was deemed a prohibited weapon by authorities and capable of causing adverse psychological and physiological effects on human beings. Both teens were arrested and could face up to 10 years in prison for spraying the pungent solution around school grounds. That does not seem...
That seems a little excessive for fart spray.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess you have to, make an example and all of that.
I like this next one. It says, update, woman wins UK cheese rolling race despite being knocked unconscious. All right. You got that one, Val.
A woman was knocked unconscious while running down a hill to chase a 7-pound cheese wheel, but still managed to win her race. Delaney Irving fell and rolled while pursuing the cheese wheel down the almost vertical Cooper's Hill near Gloucester, England. Irving said she only realized she had won the woman's race when she woke up in the medical tent. Irving is from Vancouver Island in Canada. She told the press, I remember running, then bumping my head, and then I woke up in the tent. I still don't really believe it, but it feels great.
All right. How about some buy now, pay later?
What I've always wanted to do is win the cheese rolling race.
And be knocked out at the same time.
Oh, all right. Sorry.
That's all right. Buy now, pay later pizza. I like the sound of it, but maybe not. Death is an escape from everything except pizza. New Zealand Pizza Company has unveiled a new buy now, pay later system that lets customers pay or wait to pay for their order until after they're dead.
Oh, jeez.
The new Hell's Pizza unveiled the Afterlife Pay Plan. It's a selective program that's only allowing 666 New Zealanders and 666 Austrians to participate. I'm getting creeped out. I wonder if it's like the Trump pizza parlor we have here in Lincoln. The Afterlife Pay system requires customers to sign a real amendment to their wills, allowing their pizza debts to be collected after their debt. There is no interest rates or fees in the programming, which is a bonus. CEO for Hell Pizza, Ben Cummings, said the lighthearted marketing stunt was inspired by the current buy now, pay later programs in retailers and online.
Oh.
You could order a lot of pizzas and just dump it off on your kids to take care of. Just a thought.
Just a thought. Oh,
all right.
All right.
Let's move on and wrapping up today's show. This is just kind of a little warm-up for the week. We've got, Mike Bentz in tomorrow, and I'm going to see if Chuck wants to join us. Also, then, of course, Three Amigos Thursday with Chuck, myself, and Alan Milani. And then Fridays, it's Scott and Chuck. So there you go. Things hopefully getting back to normal around the radio station this week. Also want to give some kudos to Chuck because he got a quick, maybe almost 2 week of training. And then he was thrown to the wolves, and he's done excellent. I've heard him on the radio interviewing people that do movies in the area and doing the daily community calendars and stuff. So Chuck Ritchie jumping into the thick of things and doing a great job. Big round of applause, Chuck. All right. And one of mine and my sister's favorite things to wrap up the show, it's time for Odd News.
Slap some bacon on a biscuit and let's go. We're burning daylight.
It's the world of strange. A world gone wacky.
Out here, due process is a bullet.
And some of the scariest people on the planet.
I think you're bluffing.
Be afraid.
You know, you look mighty pretty when you get mad.
It's your odd news on KCHW.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
All right, I always fire things off with the news attack where the first part is real and the second part is just a horrible attempt at a joke. And Val fires us off.
What did you do on Memorial Day?
I was extremely lazy.
Yeah, we didn't do a whole lot yesterday either.
Yeah.
But you know the best part about grilling out on Memorial Day is that it's so close to July 4th that there's no need to clean the grill when you're finished. I mean, right? I can't be the only one.
You have to clean a grill?
Don't you just let it burn off?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
All right. A new study found that drinking large quantities of diet soda can do as much damage to your teeth as meth, but without the street cred. Oh, that's bad.
Oh, bad. And why diet soda? Isn't it like all soda?
Yes.
Okay. A report found that Finland is the world's happiest country. Being so far from the Kardashians has a number of benefits.
Memorial Day weekend was the unofficial start to summer, right? A time for fun and the time for removing the Christmas decorations, Val.
I know. Brad just said to me, I think yesterday, maybe we should take down the Christmas decorations, the Christmas lights on the outside of the house. But they've been hanging there for like 6 years. Now is not the time to remove them.
It's too hot now. It's too hot.
Ron DeSantis says he'll abolish the IRS if elected president.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. And I'm going to abolish my bathroom scale. That should take care of those extra pounds.
Just throw it right out the window.
Mm-hmm.
So how's the government plan on making money if we get rid of the IRS?
I don't know. How does Florida plan on making money without Disney?
All right, Chinese Space Agency announced on Monday it plans to send the country's first manned mission to the moon by 2030. Did you hear that a minute ago?
I did hear that. I was paying attention.
Thank you. It's going to be awkward when they find out Elon Musk already called dibs on it for his next vacation home, though.
Can we see Elon get in one of his own spaceships anytime soon? Yeah.
And not come back?
Mm-hmm.
You should go to Mars. I think you should be the first person on Mars. I think you should start now.
Yeah. Research shows that each cockroach has its own individual personality. Bet my shoe treats them as equals.
Ew. British researcher discovered that mushrooms talk to each other and know up to 50 words.
What? I think somebody was eating mushrooms when they
watching
did that
Star
research.
Trek.
Yeah.
Hey, just a warning, guys. If the green beans come around or invite you to a casserole party, ignore them.
Wow.
Mushrooms talk. What if they do? That'd be extra creepy.
Yeah. Especially when you're eating them.
All right, on to wacky but true. We don't add anything to these but a movie sound effect, and Val's going to help us out with bears.
All right. A black bear entered a bakery garage in Avon, Connecticut, and helped itself to 60 cupcakes being loaded into a van. The bear frightened the employees and charged at one of them, who managed to scare it off by shouting and honking a car horn. The bear was gone by the time the police and officers from the Connecticut Department of Energy and Environmental Protection arrived.
Oh, man, 60 cupcakes.
Yeah.
I got a song for this.
I mean, bare necessities or Mother Nature's recipes that bring the bare necessities of life.
Yeah, I don't think that includes 60 cupcakes.
You know, I wish I was a bear. Because you could eat 60 cupcakes and get fat, and everybody would be like, it's just a bear.
It's
cute. You could hibernate all winter. Yeah.
It looks good on you, Val.
Yeah, thank you.
Government official in India suspended from his job after he ordered a water reservoir to be drained to retrieve his smartphone, which he had dropped while taking a selfie. Huh.
Just suspended, not fired?
Just suspended. Mr. Vishwas, a food inspector, first asked divers to search for the phone, claiming that it contained sensitive government data. But when that failed, he ordered the reservoir to be emptied using diesel pumps. Over the next 3 days, more than 530,000 gallons of water were pumped out of the dam. Vishwas claimed that the water was unusable for irrigation, that he had received permission from a senior official to drain it. He hadn't. Smartphone was eventually retrieved, but wouldn't start because, yes, it was in the water.
What did he think he was going to get back from that cell phone? I mean,
know.
Anybody who's dropped their cell phone in a hot tub or toilet or pool knows that you're pretty much out of luck.
Yep. Here's something for him.
Huh? I am not a bum. I'm a jerk.
He is. He is.
Oh, this is an interesting story right here. Residents of Suwannee County, Florida, are being advised to exercise extreme caution when outdoors after 2 people were attacked by, you want to guess? A feral cat.
Aw.
The animal has evaded capture for almost a week despite traps laid by deputies from the sheriff's office. The office's animal control unit is advising the public to be mindful of the feral cat or any other animals in the area that present signs of rabies.
So what happens when they walk through the park? I read this story a couple days ago that when they walk through the park, it actually comes out and attacks people passing by.
Wow. And do they think it's rabid or do they think it's just mean?
They can't catch it until they test it for rabies, and they say they have to kill it to test it for rabies, which I didn't know you had to do that. You don't have to do that for people, do you?
No.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. All right. I think I got another one.
You know what I think? I think that we're all in our private traps, clamped in them, and none of us can ever get out.
That's right.
I don't know that they test people for rabies. I think if you get bit by even an animal they suspected of having rabies, you get the shots. And one that definitely they know has rabies, you get the shots. So I don't know if they can even test humans for it.
You want to know more? Click here. All right.
I'm sorry,
Thursday,
I digress once again.
Michael Cortez, a wanted man with 7 active warrants. Count them, 7, including 4 of them for felonies. Attempted to evade police by jumping into a river in Colorado. Police spotted Cortez while conducting a patrol in the area that had received several drug complaints by residents. He was carrying a backpack with him which contained over 35 grams of meth. After Cortez jumped in the river, he floated for quite a while. Then he walked on foot in shallow areas for 6 hours. Cortez finally exited the river just before nightfall and was promptly taken into custody because he was being followed by a police canine unit. Oopsie.
They can smell that meth from miles away.
I guess. Let's see, I think I have a sound effect for this too.
Well, if they follow standard Imperial procedure, they'll dump their garbage before they go to light speed, and then we just float away.
Oh.
The rest of the garbage.
I think this one's better though.
He said to float away to Happy Land on the bubbles.
All right. Printing your own money with Val.
Yes, forgery charges have been filed against a Chicago man who allegedly passed fake $100 bills at a grocery store, including one with the word copy printed on it. I'm thinking the employees of that supermarket are getting fired too. The man, Antoine Lee, was arrested after scuffling and biting a store manager who confronted him about the fake bills.
All right. Let's go live to the scene.
Oh, bite it! Yes.
Sounds like they were enjoying it a little.
Yeah, a little too much.
Huh. All right. Last one here. Homemade boat sinks while it's in dock. Oh, poor sailor. Andrew Bedwell, a 49-year-old yacht maker, has abandoned his attempt to sail solo in his homemade vessel Big Sea from Canada to Cornwall, England. After the boat started letting in water just hours into the voyage, Bedwell had set off from St. John's, Newfoundland on Saturday on his 1,900-mile journey, but was forced to return to shore for safety reasons. When his team went to assess the damage next morning, they found the vessel had sunk below the water in the harbor, but was then badly damaged during the recovery process. Bedwell had spent 3 years hand-building his fiberglass micro-yacht. That's what I call a ski boat. It measured a whopping 11 feet tall and had a top speed of, get it, 2.5 miles per hour. Huh. That's a long way to go to England. He had planned to survive
2.5 miles per hour.
He had planned to survive on vitamin-based drinks and food bags made of beef jerky, raisins, and fat.
Oh, boy.
All right, let's go sailing.
He was unaware atop his chair while bailing he was sailing.
Yeah, bailing and sailing. And one more.
You mean you can see into my mind?
Yes.
And?
It amazes me how you manage to live in anything that small.
You needed the Gilligan's Island theme song there, too.
Oh, ooh, I'll have to dig that out just in case.
Yeah.
For a rainy day.
For a
All
rainy
right.
day.
That is our show for today. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget we've bringing back Mike Bentz, who's moved to Montana.
What?
What? All right. So we're just like going to be all over the place with our staff.
Yes.
All right.
We truly are national.
Speaking of Montana, in Wyoming, check it out online. It's very cool looking. A albino buffalo was born.
Oh.
Yeah, pure white. Looks really cool. And then in China, they have an albino panda bear. And remember,
isn't that like some omen or something, that the end to a prophecy when you get the white buffalo?
exactly. So I'm sure the Native Americans will have something on that for us real soon too, because it just came out today. So I'm looking forward to that one. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And don't forget, I am breeding pandas and llamas. We call them Panamas. That was from the start of the show.
I bet you're sorry if you missed it.
Yeah, you might be sorry if you didn't miss it. And if you ever miss a show and you want to check them out, they're always online, Facebook and YouTube. Just go to KCHW Radio. Big applause for my sister, Val.
Well, thank you. It's been a long time since I've been here and seen you, so this is fun.
All right, we'll get the bugs worked out even more tomorrow. I'll be right here. It's Northern Lights Public Radio. We are KCHW 102.7. And thank you for tuning in. And Val, stay on the line for me.
Okay.